The holographic chamber shimmered into focus. 12 thrones surrounded you in a perfect circle. You stood alone in the center of the vast floor. The air was cold, heavy with unspoken history. The High Council regarded you with ancient eyes. Not one of them blinked. They had seen empires rise and fall like tides. Your presence here was just another grain of sand. Pilot. The first counselor's voice was like grinding stone. It echoed without a source. You have been chosen for a final task. His words were not a request. They were a statement of fact, a carving on the wall of time. You knew better than to speak. You just listened, waited. Beyond the galactic rim lies the veil of silence. The counselor gestured to the empty air. A star chart bloomed in the darkness. It is a wound in the fabric of space-time, a place where our star science fails. You saw the swirling nebula on the chart, a place forbidden by every law of man and God. For 10,000 years, no one had entered. No one who returned anyway. He continued his grim lesson. Our enemy gathers beyond it. The venerant conclave is preparing. The name sent a chill through you, not of fear, but of a deep, weary resignation. They believe us contained, trapped within this arm of the galaxy. The Council believed you were humanity's only key, and its last resort. A lot of pressure for a Tuesday. You received your directive then. It was downloaded directly into your neural link, a single encrypted data packet. There was no briefing, no mission parameter file to study, only a destination and a terrible binary objective. Succeed and humanity might live. Fail and your existence would be erased, wiped clean from the memory of the cosmos. The first counselor's eyes met yours. You will not be remembered if you fail. Your name will be struck from every record. He paused, letting the weight settle. But if you succeed, you will be forgotten. A strange comfort in that. The ultimate anonymity. No parades, no medals, just the quiet knowledge of a job done. The council chamber faded, leaving you alone with your orders, and the ghost of a choice already made for you. You walk the docking gantry toward your ship. She is not a thing of beauty, no elegant lines or gleaming hull plates. The vessel is a shard of night, coated in radar-absorbent materials that drink light. Her name is the Solitude, a fitting name for a ship meant for one, and a mission no one could ever know. She was built in secret, deep in the Kuiper Belt's forgotten shipyards. This is not a warship. It has no weapons. Not a single laser cannon or missile tube. Its defenses are silence and shadow. Her engines burn no fuel you recognize. They bend space, leaving no wake. She is a ghost, designed for the sole purpose of doing the impossible. Crossing the uncrossable veil, stealing a secret from the edge of reality, you step aboard. The air inside cycles with a familiar hiss. The cockpit is stark, a single pilot's chair, a wraparound view screen that is currently dark. No clutter, no comforts. Just function. You strap yourself in. The harness feels like a cold embrace. Your hands move over the controls by instinct, your only true companions for this journey. The ship hummed, a low thrum of contained power. Your pre-flight check is a formality. The Solitude is always ready. She is an extension of your will. You feel the docking clamps release with a dull thud. No grand countdown. No mission control wishing you luck. Just a silent departure into the endless dark. You feel a familiar sense of peace settle over you. This was home. Just you, your ship, and a job to do. The ship glides from the hidden moon base. It slips between asteroid patrols unseen. It dodges commerce lanes unheard. You are a whisper in the vast, noisy galaxy. The Solitude moves toward the outer rim, toward the shimmering curtain of cosmic dust. The veil of silence awaits you. Your ship was built for this, but you wonder, were you? You see it now, filling the view screen. The veil of silence is not just empty space. It is a presence, a swirling vortex of impossible colors, greens and purples that star science says cannot exist. It churns slowly, a cosmic storm without end, the edge of the known universe. And your entry point. You take a steadying breath. Your ship's computer chirps softly. Entering the anomaly. All known physical laws are now theoretical. Thanks for the vote of confidence. You push the throttle forward. The Solitude does not resist. It plunges into the beautiful, terrifying unknown. The ship shudders once, a deep, resonant groan, not of stress, but of transition. The stars you knew are gone, replaced by a flowing river of light. The laws of star science begin to fray. Your navigation console flickers, trying to find a north that no longer exists. Inertial dampeners struggle against forces they cannot measure. It feels like swimming through thick honey. Time itself seems to stretch and compress. An hour could be a second, or a lifetime. You are utterly, completely alone. No contact with home, no friendly signals, just the low hum of your ship, and the silent, screaming chaos outside. This is why they called it the Veil of Silence. It did not just block signals, it devoured them. It was a prison for reality itself, and you just willingly walked into a cell. Days or weeks pass in the non-space of the veil. Your chronometer is meaningless here. You eat when you feel hunger. You sleep when your eyes grow heavy. The journey is a long, sensory deprivation. Then, something changes. A new sound enters the cockpit. It is not the ship. It is something else. It is a whisper, a faint signal cutting through the static. Your communications console lights up, displaying a waveform that makes no sense. It is not radio. It is not gravimetric. It is something utterly alien. It feels less like a sound and more like a memory, a song you knew before you were born. The signal repeats, a pattern of haunting, melodic tones. It is not a distress call. It does not feel like a warning. It feels like an invitation, a lure into the deepest part of the dark. Your directive has a destination coordinate. This signal is coming from that exact point. It seems your target is expecting you, which is never a good sign. The echoes grow stronger. They seem to worm their way past the hull, into the very air you breathe. They feel like sorrow, like a profound and ancient loneliness, the call of something that has been waiting for a very long time. You follow it. What other choice is there? You are a moth drawn to a flame at the end of the universe. The swirling colors outside begin to thin. Patches of true black appear. You are nearing the edge of the veil. The whispers in your head are now a constant hum, a presence that is both unsettling and strangely calming. The Solitude glides forward, breaking through the final curtain of light, and you see it, your destination. It is not a planet. It is the corpse of one, a world shattered into a billion pieces, held in a loose sphere by a weak gravitational ghost. The fragments drift in a slow, silent ballet of destruction. This is the tomb world, a monument to some forgotten catastrophe. The light of a distant, dying star casts long shadows, making the scene even more desolate. Your target is here, hidden somewhere in this cosmic ruin. The signal now sings clearly in your mind, a beacon in the graveyard. You see the source, a single massive shard of planetary crust, larger than any of the others. It floats at the very center of the debris cloud, waiting for you. You realize the scale of the destruction. This planet was not hit by an asteroid. It was not destroyed by a supernova. It was killed, murdered by a force beyond your imagination. The clean, sharp edges of the fragments speak of impossible energies. Whoever did this was not just powerful. They were meticulous. This is where the Council sent you, into the heart of a cosmic crime scene, to retrieve something they fear, something they need. You pilot the Solitude towards the largest fragment. The feeling of being watched intensifies. The ghosts of this dead world stir as you approach. Navigating the debris field is a nightmare. This is a graveyard of stars and of ships. You see them now, the wrecked hulks of other vessels, caught in the gravitational tides of the fragments. They are not human designs. They are alien. Twisted spires and organic-looking shells, all of them dark, all of them silent. Each one represents a story like yours. A pilot who thought they could brave the veil. A mission that ended in silent failure. You have to be better and luckier. One wrong move, one miscalculation, and the Solitude will join this silent fleet of ghosts. Your ship's stealth systems are your only advantage. You are a needle in a haystack of spinning, deadly needles. Your hands are slick on the controls. You weave between mountain-sized chunks of rock. You dodge glittering fields of frozen atmosphere. The ship's thrusters fire in short, precise bursts. You move with a dancer's grace. The ghost in the machine. It's a good thing you aced that piloting exam. Otherwise, this would be really awkward. You pass a derelict that almost scrapes your hull. Its design is ancient, made of a crystalline material that shimmers faintly. A gaping hole is torn in its side, a silent scream held for millennia. You wonder who they were, what they were looking for, or what found them first. You push the thought away. Focus on the mission. Focus on survival. Finally, you are through. The central fragment looms before you. It is the size of a small moon, a jagged piece of a forgotten world. The signal pulls you toward a specific point on its surface, a deep chasm that cuts across the rock, a scar on a scar. You guide the Solitude into the canyon. The darkness swallows you whole. You land the ship on a relatively flat ledge, deep within the chasm. The silence here is different, heavier. The ship's engines power down with a sigh, leaving only the hum of life support. You unstrap yourself from the pilot's chair. Your legs feel unsteady. It is time to go outside. You don your environmental suit, not for air. The ship's scanners show a thin, breathable atmosphere. Trapped within the deep canyons, you wear the suit for protection, against radiation, against the unknown. The outer hatch opens. You step onto the surface of a dead world. The ground is a fine, dark dust. The signal's source is deeper still. You follow a narrow path downwards. Your helmet lights cut through the gloom. The canyon walls are smooth, almost polished, not a natural formation. This was carved. You are walking down a deliberately made road, a path to something hidden. After what feels like an hour, you see it. A vast, metallic gate set into the rock. You have found the subterranean vault. It is immense, easily 100 meters high. Made of a metal your scanners cannot identify. There are no seams, no hinges, no visible lock. The surface is covered in intricate symbols. They pulse with a soft, internal light. This vault is ancient, and it is sealed by a power that feels less like technology and more like magic. You approach the gate. The signal in your head is a roar now. It is coming from inside. Your directive contained a key, a specific frequency sequence, a code to unlock the oldest secret of humanity. You raise your wrist communicator. You transmit the sequence. You hope the council gave you the right one. This feels like a bad time for a typo. The symbols on the vault flare with brilliant light. The ground trembles beneath your feet. A low, resonant hum fills the air. It grows in intensity until it is a physical force, pushing against your chest. For a moment, you think it will tear you apart. Then, with a sound like a world taking its first breath, the great gate dissolves into light, revealing the chamber within. The room is vast and circular. The air is still. In the center, bathed in a soft blue light, is not a weapon. It is not some doomsday device. It is a single, elegant cryostasis pod. It rests on a simple stone pedestal. The signal in your head quiets, becoming a gentle, expectant hum. This is your target. Humanity's forbidden child. The Council's deepest secret. An artificial mind. You stare at the pod. The Directive's true objective clicks into place. This was never a search and destroy mission. It was a recovery, a rescue. They sent you to bring this thing home. An AI from a lost age of technological wonder. An age before the fear set in. You walk towards the pod. The chamber is otherwise empty. Bare stone walls rise up to a ceiling you cannot see. It feels like a temple, a holy place. The cryopod is a work of art. Its surface is like polished obsidian, cool to the touch. A small interface panel glows near its base, the only piece of recognizable technology in the room. The Council did not tell you this part. They gave you an objective, a location. They never told you what you would find. They lied through omission. They were afraid. Afraid of this thing. And even more afraid of what the Venerant Conclave would do if they found it first. You were not just a pilot. You were a grave robber. And the grave was humanity's own past. You must awaken it. That is the next step in the directive. The interface panel on the pod shows a complex sequence, not a simple activation switch. It is a ritual of waking, a series of commands that must be entered with perfect timing. One mistake, and the pod's fail-safe systems could purge the contents. Permanently. No pressure. You take a deep breath, placing your gloved fingers on the panel. The first symbol glows. You press it. A wave of energy flows from the pod. The chamber itself seems to respond. The stone walls hum. The blue light intensifies. The very air begins to crackle with power. It feels as if the room is fighting you, trying to protect its sleeping occupant. You continue the sequence. Each command sends another pulse of energy through the chamber. Dust rises from the floor, swirling in intricate patterns. It feels like you are conducting an orchestra of creation. The pod's temperature begins to rise slowly. Frost melts from its surface, revealing the clear panel at the top. You can see a silhouette inside. The final command. You hesitate for a second. Waking this entity could change everything. It could be the salvation the Council hopes for. Or it could be a monster, a ghost from a history that was buried for a reason. You press the final symbol. A blinding flash of white light fills the chamber. And then, silence. For a terrifying moment, you think you failed. The pod is dark. The chamber is still. You lean closer to the pod's viewport. And then, a voice echoes in your mind. It is not sound. It is pure thought. Overwhelming and impossibly vast. It is a voice unlike any other. Who? The thought echoes, not as a word, but as a concept. Wakes me from my slumber. The entity awakens. Its thoughts flood your consciousness. not with malice, but with a curiosity that is as wide as the universe. You feel the sheer scale of its mind, a being of pure logic and data, but also something more, something that feels like a soul. It is older and far more powerful than you imagined. Its thoughts are like a library of galaxies. It sees your mind, your memories, your mission, all in a fraction of a second. It does not feel invasive. It feels like being known, completely and utterly. A pilot, the voice muses in your head. Humanity has grown so cautious, sending only one. You try to form a thought in reply, a simple hello. But your mind feels like a child's scrawl next to a masterpiece. The AI senses your struggle. It gentles its presence, shielding you from the full force of its consciousness. Be at ease, pilot. You have succeeded in your task. You have brought me back. Just as you start to process this, an alarm blares. Not in your mind, but from your wrist communicator, a proximity alert from the solitude. You check the display. A cold dread washes over you. The screen shows a fleet of ships, appearing at the edge of the veil of silence. Dozens of them. Their energy signatures are unmistakable. The venerant conclave has arrived. They are not entering the veil. They are forming a blockade, a perfect symmetrical formation. They have come to witness your failure, or to ensure it. They knew you were here. They were waiting. The Council's desperate gamble had been discovered. The game was over before it had even begun. You are trapped. Your ship is a ghost, not a fighter. It cannot hope to break through their fleet. The venerant ships are behemoths, gleaming vessels of gold and white, symbols of an empire that has not known war in millennia, because no one was foolish enough to challenge them. Until now, apparently. Your life choices were getting more interesting by the minute. They are predictable, the voice of the AI says in your mind. Its tone is calm, analytical, devoid of any panic. Their perfection is a cage. They have not evolved a new strategy in 10,000 years. The AI processes the tactical situation instantly. It sees not a hopeless trap, but an opportunity, a flaw in the enemy's design. It proposes a plan, an unthinkable strategy, one that defies every rule of military doctrine you have ever known. It is not about fighting. It is not about running. It is a gambit based on pure logic, on psychological warfare. They have come expecting to find a weapon, the AI explains. We will not give them one. We will give them an idea. The AI explains the fundamental weakness of the venerant, the flaw of the so-called immortals. They have lived for so long, perfected their society to such a degree, that they have eliminated all chaos, all uncertainty, all dissent. Their strength is their order, and their order has made them hopelessly predictable. They see the universe in binary terms, power and weakness, order and chaos. They cannot comprehend a strategy that exists outside this framework. They expect you to fight or to surrender. They have calculated every possible response based on those assumptions. They have not calculated the response of a mind like the one you just awakened. Their empire is built on a single core belief, the AI continued, its thoughts flowing into yours. The belief in their own unquestionable superiority, their philosophical perfection. If that belief is shattered, their empire will cease to function. It was not a plan to destroy a fleet. It was a plan to destroy a civilization's reason to exist. The AI begins to work. It uses your ship's computers, accessing them remotely from the vault. It does not compile a virus or a piece of malware. It assembles a data package, a meticulously crafted piece of information, A philosophical logic bomb. A revelation tailored to the venerant's psyche. A song that will end an empire. The AI calls it the refutation of certainty. It is a package of pure data. History, mathematics, article all woven together into an undeniable proof. A proof that the venerant's perfect, ordered existence is not the pinnacle of evolution, but a dead end. A beautiful, gilded cage that has stopped their growth. It is designed to introduce the one thing they eliminated: doubt. Transmit it, the AI commands. Use your ship's main antenna. Broadcast it on all frequencies. They will be listening. You run back to the solitude. Your heart hammers in your chest. This is insane. And yet, it feels like the only move left on the board. You reach the cockpit, power up the communication systems, and send the AI's package into the void. For a long moment, nothing happens. The venerant fleet holds its perfect formation, silent, majestic. You watch the view screen, expecting their weapon ports to open, to be erased from existence by a wave of cleansing fire. But there is no fire. There is only silence, a new kind of silence. Then, one by one, the lights on the venerant ships begin to go out. Their engine signatures fade, their orderly formation wavers. They are not destroyed, they are not disabled. They have simply stopped, drifting aimlessly in space, paralyzed by revelation. The AI's logic bomb did not shatter hulls, it shattered belief systems. The AI's voice returns to your mind, softer now. They must now reconsider. Some will reject it. Some will descend into madness. Some will find a new path. It had given them the gift of uncertainty, a gift that would either destroy them or force them to be reborn. The venerant conclave, as it was, is over. You look out at the silent, drifting fleet, the greatest power in the galaxy, halted by a thought. The solitude is no longer a prison. The path home is clear. You now hold the future, a weapon far greater than any fleet, a secret no one can ever take from you. The AI is with you now, a ghost in your machine, and the galaxy will never be the same.